Hello, friends. It's hard to believe that cute and charming dogs of small breeds are nothing but a source of income for some. Some get them only because they believe them to be extremely profitable to breed and sell. Even though these tiny little things are popular all around the world, oftentimes they are extremely fragile and have poor health. These teacup dogs are in desperate need of responsible dog owners to care for them. This little Chihuahua named Bree was thrown into the streets because she was in extremely poor shape after giving birth. Her owners decided that because she wasn't able to give birth again, they no longer had any use for her. Bree was found on the streets by animal shelter workers. She was completely exhausted and hungry. The little Chihuahua was in extremely poor physical condition and was in desperate need of a warm home. After a few days, it was decided to post Bree's picture on the shelter's site. When Claire Stokoe saw Bree's picture online, she immediately decided that she needed to give that poor malnutrition puppy the home and love that she deserved. Soon afterwards, Claire called the rescue that posted the photo. The woman then embarked on a 600-mile trip to Wales to bring Bree home. When Claire arrived, Bree trembled and was afraid of Claire because she did not yet know that there were kind people in the world. It turned out that Bree's condition was much worse than Claire thought. The tiny dog was used for breeding despite the harm it was causing her. Claire was no longer confident that she would be able to help poor Bree. Bree had scars on her legs and scabs covered her ears. She was used for breeding and has had 2 litters. Her tiny body had to endure much more than it could handle. This little girl was also completely malnourished. Most likely, she did not receive enough food in her previous home. She also spent most of her life in the dark as her eyes had trouble adjusting to light. Claire said, "When I first saw her, I was shocked. She was emaciated and trembled violently. I wondered for a second if she could even be helped at all. She looked horrible, and it was extremely sad." But as soon as Bree was released from her carrier in the car, Claire knew that she had done everything right when she decided to adopt the tiny creature. After all, the love that she could offer the tiny dog was going to be extremely helpful to her recovery. Claire continued, "As soon as I opened the carrier, she climbed on top of me and buried herself in my neck. I was stunned and just sat there, enjoying the feeling of her tiny breaths on my neck. But her and I soon both fell asleep in the back seat of the car." When she arrived in her new home, Bree met Claire's other dogs, Boudica, Dexter, and Vesper. They all became great friends. Claire recalled Vesper went straight up to Bree as if Bree was her puppy. She sat down next to her immediately. Bree followed Vesper around everywhere, and Vesper let Bree get away with everything, even eating out of Vesper's bowl. Vesper even had a phantom pregnancy a month after I brought Bree. The vet said that Bree caused Vesper to experience a surge of hormones. Over time, the love that the Chihuahua received enabled her personality to come out. Claire says, "Bree does funny little things. For example, when we laugh, she covers her ears with her paws, opens her mouth, and makes a noise like a chimpanzee. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen." Bree still has health problems because of what her tiny body had to endure, but she is extremely happy in her new home and is not too bothered by her illness. According to Claire, Bree acts like a young puppy. She walks around the house, plays with toys, steals socks, and slides on the floor. "I have no idea how she survived 2 pregnancies. The cold, the fear, and the hunger," said Claire. "She is much stronger than me, that's for sure. She is a true inspiration." Now nothing can stop Bree from becoming the charismatic and loving dog that she was born to be. Little Tilly has been through a lot. The baby was wandering in the woods by herself when a tourist named Hiker found her by chance. The dog was so scared that the young man had to run after her to catch her. Her whole body was trembling, and she did not let herself be touched. The tourist called an animal assistance center in Missouri. He told them about the dog, and a representative from the center immediately went to the scene. The volunteer spent 2 hours trying to catch the small and nimble dog. She stayed determined to catch the dog despite the scratches. As soon as Tilly was in the arms of her rescuer, the woman realized that she wanted to adopt her. She decided to treat and keep the dog, no matter the cost. At the time, Tilly weighed 3 kilos, which indicated severe malnourishment. She had rotten teeth and big bald spots. The woman brought Tilly to her car and gave her some food. Of course, hunger overcame fear, and the dog eagerly pounced on the treats that she was offered. Since it was the evening, all the vets were closed. The rescuer brought Tilly home, who spent the night in her rescuer's bed. The dog curled up in a ball and watched her new owner closely, as if studying her. In the morning, Tilly was taken to a vet who examined her and revealed some shocking facts. It turned out that the dog was about 10 to 12 years old and had given birth many times. Most likely, the dog was used solely for the purpose of breeding and was dumped in the woods when she got sick. But that's not all. When the vet examined Tilly's stomach, he felt 2 hard lumps. At first, he thought that the dog had cancer, but luckily the diagnosis was not confirmed. It turned out that old Tilly was pregnant again. 4 days after her rescue, the dog gave birth to 2 puppies. Unfortunately, one of them didn't make it, but the other one, named Teddy, did. Tilly cared for her baby tenderly and did not leave him even for a minute. When little Teddy grew a bit older, he was adopted by the owner's friends, and she was able to focus on Tilly's treatment. Tilly's rotten teeth were removed. She only had 10 remaining healthy teeth. The treatment did Tilly a lot of good. She recovered quickly, grew her fur back, and she became more active. She became friends with the other dogs living in the house. Love and care work wonders. Even though she won't ever forget the cruelty that people have shown her, we are happy that Tilly gets to age with dignity. Friends, that's all for today. Tell us your opinions in the comments, like the video, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.